Welcome everyone to the 36th would be episode of ProPride TV, and we got a humdinger for you again today. And today's episode is brought to you by none other than Patriot Auto Mall. You'll find the first auto mall at the corner of Torrey and Thompson in Fenton, Michigan, and we're coming to a town near you, or your town, shortly. Is that the right wording? What is it? How are we going to say?
Coming to a city near you.
Coming to a city near you. Look at, see, and we have to admit, Lazar's getting sharper every episode. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. That helps us out. Share in the groups. Please do us a favor here. And guess what? From now on, every episode, during the episode, we are going to flash a discount code or a free gift code. Every single time that we have a live broadcast, we're going to put something up for the near future, maybe forever. And right now, can we pop that up? You will see the code, and today it is a 10% off anything on ProPride TV. I'm sorry, ProPrideHitch.com. And that's only during the live broadcast. So if you're watching this afterwards, sorry, it's only for when we're live. So it'd be a good time for you to watch, and make sure that you mark it down, mark your calendar, and you can click that, what is it, a little bell? A little bell, it'll remind you when the episode comes up. Is that what it is, a little bell?
So. Yeah, yes, it is a little
That's
bell.
Our Facebook expert.
You'll get a
guys,
notification.
He said he thinks so. But it is a bell, right?
You'll get a notification, yeah.
You'll get a notification. So then you can watch. Next week it might be something free. All you have to do is go punch in a code. So anyway, we're going to get going today, but first let's watch this. And welcome back, everyone, to the 36th episode of ProPride TV. Just think, 52 is right around the corner, isn't it, Lazar?
It is. It's a lot. I can't believe we're already 36.
36. Well, how many weeks is that?
That is 36.
36, right?
Checking my math.
Exactly. How many months is that?
That is roughly 6 months. 8 months.
9.
9.
There, we got it. We nailed it. Can you hit the? Is it coming up now?
It's not coming up.
Oh man. All right. So anyway, let's first off, the angry trucker video. People, when we run those in ads, have you noticed people will say, "Oh, it was staged," or "Oh, it doesn't matter," or anything like that?
I don't know how you stage that.
No. We have a document from the gentleman that was driving that vehicle. That was his Airstream.
Yep.
And there's nothing else. I guess we could get a notarized affidavit, but it was very, very real. And you know, Lazar's haircut is starting to rival the Hawk of Knowledge. If you haven't noticed this, his hair has been changing.
It's like a chameleon.
It is. It is. So now we have one of Lazar's favorite times, shout out time.
We have J.P. Huber, Rick Butler.
Nice. Like the street butler.
Yeah, Darrell Bess, Kyle Johnson, Tony Rich is watching, and we have Elusive Kirk 4 watching and commenting, eating Polish sausage with queso cheese sauce. Ain't nothing better.
He's been on the Atkins diet for 34 years.
It's practically Jerry.
And it shows. So anyway, also, but right there it says Jennifer Aniston.
It is
Jennifer Aniston, and I think, Ivanka Trump. Jennifer Aniston and Ivanka Trump are watching. Word is getting out, people, that it is getting out. Everyone's starting to watch it. Maybe Ivanka will tell her dad. Wouldn't that be something if we got
a nice order from Dom?
Yeah, Don, I doubt he camps.
It's all right.
And I doubt he would want to figure out how it works. But nonetheless, we have quite a crew. Gary Busey said he wouldn't be able to make it this week. He's busy. Is that how you say Busey or Busey?
Busey.
Busey. I'm sorry, Gary, about that. So anyway, shout out is over. Anyone else? Any questions or any comments come up besides Kirk?
Kyle Johnson said we're live.
All right, KJ, he's always on. KJ's a good man. So announcements. First thing we have, don't forget, we have the Brute. Can be pre-ordered. That's a drop hitch. And as Brent has demonstrated, it can also be an up hitch. You flip it over, it can be a drop or it can be an up. Or would that be a lift?
Yeah,
a drop and a lift.
A rise hitch.
The Hawk of Knowledge is on the set, even though he's not on the screen, just so you know. So the Brute you can pre-order, and speaking of Brutes, guess who that is in the background there? None other than this guy right here.
Can't you tell?
Exactly. I just wish that button was working today. We would have had a lot of fodder today.
I know, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have a lot of material today.
But so next, ProPride credit. This is in my realm, the crazy finance guy. It is in order. It's not completely automated on our site, but we have 6 months, same as cash, 0% interest, and then you can go as low as $64 a month after that, or you can start out making a payment. It's very flexible. It's like a credit line, like a credit card. And the rates are like credit card rates. There's low for good credit. It goes up if the credit's a little bit dinged. So nonetheless, you can get the ProPride 3P hitch very cheaply now. So it makes it difficult to even have an excuse, because if you want safety, it's very affordable.
$64 a month. There's not many things you can buy with $64 a month.
No, Brent, what's a typical site rental at a campground?
Site rental is probably anywhere from 75 to probably 120, something like that.
So less than one night at a campground, you can have the peace of mind and the safety of the 3P ProPride hitch. We're trying to make it as affordable and easy to grab as possible. The install network, we're trying to do everything possible so everyone can travel safely and enjoy their hobby.
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. It's the safest solution.
It is. And speaking of hobby, what are your hobbies, Lazar?
I like to read books and
Read books. Read books.
I'm a golfer, avid golfer.
What's your best score ever? So we'll say if it's a golfer or if you're recreation.
I'm a
Have you ever broken 50 from 9?
Yeah, absolutely. 47, 46.
Have you ever broken 100 for 18?
98.
98.
I've only been golfing for 1 year. 1 year.
That's almost palatable. You can almost say you're
I can
golfing.
almost enjoy myself.
Almost enjoy yourself. How many clubs have you broken?
Broken one club.
What was it, your putter?
It was a 4-iron.
4.
Thing went flying.
Yeah. So nonetheless, here we are digging for information, and let's take a look at, oh, wait, we got to talk about the code. Let's pop that up, would you, Adam? So you see the code on the screen. We are going to have a live code. This is only during the broadcast, the 20 or 30 minutes that we're on here, and today it is 10% off. Anything on ProPrideHitch.com, including a 3P, you get 10% off using this code only while we're live, and we're going to do this every week. So tell all your friends, relatives, and neighbors to be sure that they watch, because there could be even free things. Like we're kicking around a free cover one of these days. All you got to do is punch that in, you get delivered a free cover.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's real nice. Maybe a t-shirt, a hat, koozie.
You don't see this many places.
No.
I've never seen anything like
No, this is a good time right here. This is actually fun. Let's see if anyone comments on it, but let's first take a look at this. Oh, the 0% financing, is it still live on the site, Brent?
Yep.
It's still live, but it could be gone any day. Let's take a look at this commercial, and then we're going to do another commercial one of these days on the new financing. Hey, it's Dave here from ProPride. Just want to talk to you a little bit about our 0% financing. If you are ready to purchase a 3P pivot point projection hitch from ProPride, right now you can get it with nothing down, 0% interest for 18 months. That's 18 equal payments, 0% interest. Right now is the time to act because we're building them and shipping them as fast as we can. So look for our 0% offered on our site, and see you soon. Lazar, can you hear that?
Oh, I can feel it through my bones.
I know. And what I'm sure everyone that's a regular, they know that it's now time for Brent McDowell, and that's little C, big D, the hawk of knowledge, the man who wears a faux hawk. And I'm not talking hawk of knowledge like a predatory bird. I'm talking about hair.
Could be a predatory bird.
Right. Remember, he's of questionable origin. Here he's making his way, and he's going to sit down. He has 3 different screenshot or stills, and he's going to be discussing weird noises.
That's right.
Right. So,
Why am I hearing weird noises? Well, honestly, you shouldn't be. So I've got some things that you can check out and look at if that is the case, because the ProPride 3P system is the ninja of the campsite, right?
it is. I didn't even think of that. It's quiet.
It absolutely is the ninja of the campground. So when you roll in, you should be honestly quiet. You can sneak in at 12:30 at night with your camper, get all docked and just whatever you need to do, man. You can sneak right in there. It's all good. So let's start with the first one. We went over some things that just customers ask about. So I thought I would bring them to your attention. Popping noises. First thing to do is check if you've got legacy jacks. Check those legacy jacks where the U-bolt meets your spring bar. So underneath there, you got the spring bar, and there's a U-bolt that goes on top of there. If that's too tight, it can cause that guy to have friction on that. So you don't want that friction there. You need to have that just a couple of threads showing on there so that it's loose enough to actually articulate and move on there. Some people have even put a little dab of grease on there if you want, or some spray, silicone spray. That stuff works great for it too. But that's your solution for that. So if you've got that popping noise, first check there. Another thing for
Let me just
popping noises,
interject. Explain to them what legacy jacks are.
So the legacy jacks, are the original jacks that we've had for probably 10 years plus. So the ones that have the J-hook on the side, the ones that raise vertically, not up into themselves. So the V2 jack is the second generation, and the legacy jack is our original jack that we ship with the system.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. So next thing to check, if you hear some popping noises, it's going to be your frame bracket. Ensure that it hasn't moved left or right on the frame. So if you've got like an extreme turn, or especially if you're turning and you're backing uphill, that's going to potentially give way a little bit, just so that tension goes somewhere rather than going negatively somewhere else. So if you've got that kind of movement, or if your frame bracket moved, you can check and see. We've got some pictures up here for you, which is great. The frame bracket should be centered front to back and left to right on your frame, on your A-frame right there. The tail of the yoke, which is right there, should be actually centered with that frame bracket. If it's not centered...
That's the bottom left?
That is the bottom left, yes, thank you. It's on the bottom left there are the pictures that we're showing. And if that is not completely centered in there, it could, if you have extreme articulation where you're going down a hill, your trail hasn't met yet, or going up a hill, it could pull or push on that bar. That's why we want to have you have it centered. It's not a bad thing if you don't have it centered. I mean, if you just can't, you physically can't on your frame for some reason, just be aware that you may have some frame bracket movement. Just keep an eye on it. The solution to that is just recenter that frame bracket, retorque it back to the 55 foot-pounds we recommend for those U-bolts on there, and just keep an eye on it, especially if you're doing some backing up, especially uphill. That's when I usually have the biggest problem with it. But some people don't have any problems at all, and that's the majority of people. But again, if you hear some popping noises,
I know a lot of people that have a lot of problems.
Right?
Okay.
Especially with popping noises.
Right.
Right?
And with other things.
Right. So the other piece of it that you can do to kind of try and prevent that is, if you do know that you've got an extreme situation where you're literally backing up a hill, take some of that tension off of your jacks, your spring bars. So lower the spring bars down a little bit so that you can alleviate some of that pressure that's on those. Cool.
Are we still on popping noises?
Yes.
We're done with popping noises.
Nope, one more popping noise.
One more popping noise.
Yeah, one more that we'd like to talk about. So make sure that your tongue jack foot is actually clearing the top of the spring bars and not making contact with the yoke at the bottom there. So
And that's
it's kind of that like happy
right?
medium.
Upper right picture?
It's in the middle, yes, the upper middle picture right there. So that picture is going to show, I've circled it and put an arrow to it. That's a good example of it having it out of the way and not in the way of the yoke or the spring bars right there.
Very nice.
So just adjust it so it's clear and out of the way so that you have no problem with that right there.
Well, before we go to the other weird noises, let's first take a look at this affiliate commercial because people are making money just talking about 3P, aren't they, Lazar?
They absolutely are.
They are. So let's take a look at this real quick. Hey everyone, David Jameson here, the crazy finance guy. And speaking of finance, remember if you like to talk about the 3P, all you have to do is go over to our affiliate network page, sign up, and we will give you links, QR codes, all that crazy stuff. If you have any questions, you can email Lazar and he will be happy to help you. You know how much attention he likes. So all you have to do is while you're talking about the benefits and the enjoyment of using the 3P, you can actually make money, $300 to be exact. So go to the affiliate page and sign up today. Thanks. Welcome back, everyone. Remember, we are right in the middle of Tech Talk with Brent, the hawk of knowledge, and he's about ready to go over clunking noises now. Clunking noises.
So what's that clunking noise? Again, you really shouldn't have clunking noises necessarily, but here's some things to kind of look at. And this was one that happens more than often. The manufacturers are starting to really make these receiver openings on the vehicles larger than needed because there's all kinds of different variations out there. Although we use like a 2-inch solid steel bar for our hitch bar, and for the 2.5 we use a solid 2.5, and 3 we have a solid 3. There still can be some slop in there, and that's a pretty good way of actually having that clunking noise. Especially you'll hear it when you're turning. So when you make a turn and then you turn back out of that, that hitch bar is basically doing this into the receiver, and it's clunking one side, then clunking back to the other side. There are some solutions out there. There's some anti-rattle pieces that are out there. There's some pretty decent ones. I showed a couple on here. You can kind of use what you want. I've even had customers do shims and things, but this for the most, for common people that don't have, metal working skills or want to make a shim or something like that. We've got a lot of customers that do that and are fantastic at it. But you can do some of these products that will allow you to stiffen that up so it doesn't have that movement where it's clunking to one side or the other. Because that movement will actually make or create movement on your trailer. So anything your truck is doing is going to transition right back to the trailer. It's just going to respond. So it's a good idea to take care of that too, and along with eliminating that clunking noise, right?
That's a good tip right there.
So screeching, creaking noises is the next one. So the first and almost the only thing that you probably need to do, because there really should be no screeching or creaking noises, is going to be check those spring bars. We recommend pumping grease into the install or the Zerks. There you go. There's a picture of the Zerks that are installed actually on the main unit itself. You're going to pump those full of grease from the beginning when you first do your install until you see it coming out the bottom. I didn't have a really good picture of it coming out the bottom, which is kind of a funny statement. But I did show you how you
hit
pump the
rim
grease
shot on
in
that?
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got no fun buttons today. So that's all good though. So what you could do basically is every 1,000, 1,200 miles, just pump another couple of pumps of grease in there. Just look for it coming out where the bushings are, where the spring bars actually go into the main, that little I guess J right there, and that should take care of your creaking noises. Even if you just done it, some people think that you just pump it in there a little bit and get that in there, really let that stuff come out of the bottom. That way you know that that thing is full and you've got no problems with the creaking and screeching, right? So the last one is going to be, I feel a bump when I start or stop quickly or start to like move forward again after you stop. So this is caused by the trailer actually pivoting on the 3P forward and then coming back again. So there's an easy solution to this, a very, very easy solution to this. So we recommend just dialing up your trailer brakes, and you can kind of test it in a parking lot to have them match that so that it doesn't come up on your trailer, or sorry, it doesn't come up on your tow vehicle when you're stopping or when you're starting again. So that's what you're feeling, that little bump piece is the actual hitch coming up and making contact there with the bump stop and then coming back again. So to alleviate that, all you got to do is just dial up your trailer brakes a little bit, just like you normally would, to kind of feel it and make sure that they're stopping at the same time that your truck is stopping and there is no motion forward on that. And that's as easy as it gets as far as that goes.
Wow, that is a very good tech talk. Thank you, Brent.
Burning through it.
Yeah, you can move back in now, Lazar. We can get back in the frame. You see our cameraman is on the ball, has us back in the frame. I do want to comment, you mentioned common people. Remember when William Shatner would read songs? He had
Yes.
like 2 or 3 albums.
good, actually.
One of the best ones is Common People. I can't remember the original band. It was a punk band, and he reads it, and Joe Jackson plays the music. So if you want to hear a good song, Common People, it's very, very good. William Shatner reads it, and Joe Jackson's in the background. So thought I'd pass that on for you music aficionados.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, that was. Am I hearing that music again?
You are.
I should. Is that what I feel? The Hawk of Knowledge was back with a 3-part talk on weird noises, clunking noises, bumping noises, and it's Tech Talk with Brent, and we're appreciative of him. And now it is time for the review of the week by none other than Kirby Ricketts. And that's 2 T's, so it's not the bone issue with the legs. It's not that type of Ricketts, because it's a double T. So it's Kirby Ricketts, and Kirby has a nice little write-up here. And let Jennifer know that I don't have time to discuss the thing with her and Brad. Just let her know, I'll get back with her later. But anyway, so the review, 2-hour trip home after the install, was the best experience I had pulling a travel trailer. I waited to submit my review until the first official trip, and the ProPride was on the books. Yesterday we loaded the dog and 3 granddaughters in and headed out. For the first time ever, I didn't even have to pay attention to semis passing or how hard the wind was blowing. Literally relaxed one-handed driving. There's definitely a learning curve to hooking up and unhooking, but is worth every cent. Thanks to Landon Wilcox for the installation.
So he might be in the installation now.
He's
Yeah,
got to
he
be.
is.
He's
Yeah.
got to be.
That's awesome,
Landon.
Landon.
That is
Good
a
job.
nice, very, thank you very much, Kirby. That's the type of input and feedback we like to get. And make sure if you need anything, you got a 10% off coupon right in front of you right there. In fact, you know, we ought to work out something for the people that we read. We'll give them a little extra time in case they're not watching live.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
We should work that out.
And-
But also, Landon Wilcox, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Has he been doing very many?
No, I believe so. I know his name's out there quite
That
a
is
bit.
awesome.
So
That's great, Landon. We're very happy to hear that. That's great. So, anyway, now we are on to the crash of the week. Camping trip ended abruptly after a crash. The driver lost control on the notoriously sharp corners between Sexton Summit and Sunny Valley exit. What do you know what state that is?
It's somewhere in the West Coast. I don't know what state it is, though. I forget.
No, West Coast? That does
Yeah.
look like the West Coast there. Probably Washington or something, Oregon. But check that out. That looks like a Mini. Does that look like a Mini camper to you?
Mini camper, pretty big truck, too.
probably,
Yeah.
probably 25, 30 foot.
Sway is not a question of if, it's a question of when, because the dynamics it's forced into it. There's no way around it, is there?
Nope.
No.
The only way around it is a 5th wheel or the 3P.
Eliminate it. Yep.
Eliminate it.
Completely.
And that's really what the 3P is a 5th wheel conversion kit. Converts the whole rig to a 5th wheel technology. Wouldn't you say that's a good way to put it?
Most definitely.
I know we repeat ourselves, but not everyone watches every episode, so we have to say
Sure
things
they do.
once in a while. Yeah.
They
Well,
don't?
do they? Everyone watches this?
Told me
they
they
did.
did.
Okay.
That's why.
I thought they did.
So anyway, there's crash of the week. Any comments or questions? Well, no. Lazar gets all
Why-
bent out of
why'd you
shape.
do
We're
that to
getting
me?
close to questions. First, we're going to watch the. Speaking of Mr. Landon Wilcox, let's watch this install commercial. Install Network. Hey everyone, David Jameson, the crazy finance guy here at ProPride. I want to talk to you about the Install Network. Now, this thing is literally blowing up. People all over the United States like to install the 3P, and there's people all over the United States that need help installing the 3P. So if you need either, go to the Install Network page. The link is posted below. You'll find it on our website, and sign up if you need help having an installation done for you, or if you'd like to install them and pick up a few extra bucks. We're here for you, and I'll see you soon. Tell her I don't have time to talk about Brad. I do not have time to talk about Brad, Jennifer.
Would you like me to block her?
No, you don't need to
Temporarily?
block her.
This is what happens when you ignore the calls.
Ivanka just left. She didn't even say anything, just left.
No.
I don't think she's buying our shtick too much here.
No.
But so anyway, install commercial, that is another thing if you like to tinker and you like to install these things, which I wouldn't be good at that, but a lot of people are. It's a good way to pick up extra cash and help people.
It is, it really is.
Yeah, and Mr. Ricketts is very appreciative. So that leads us now to Lazar's favorite time. This is his time to shine, people. That and when you send him emails.
And they're not letting me shine on either avenue, really.
I'm going to give him a section because I feel like he's sitting there too much. Brent has Tech Talk. We got to have something with Lazar.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what it could be. Like an editorial time. We put editorial across it and like go right in on his face.
Only right.
Right. So do we have any questions or comments?
We have a comment from Nancy Decker. The hitch head contacting the chain mount can cause noise as well, not to mention damaging the ears of the hitch head.
Yeah, for sure. So we definitely recommend, Nancy, thank you for bringing that up too. There's
It's usually not Nancy though.
No. Oh, it may not be though. Yeah, you're right.
Typically it's Mr. Decker.
Yeah, it is probably. It's like he's sneaking in on there. But anyways, for the Deckers, so you want to definitely either move those or you can even sometimes just pound them down to where they're out of the way as well. But if they stick out, you definitely can on like tight turns. That thing the turns go up to 87 degrees, so wow. That's pretty tight. So definitely keep an eye on that for sure, because you can do some damage on that. And if it hits hard enough continuously, you can do some damage to the spindles, which is super bad. So definitely something to watch and make sure you take care of before you install your hitch.
Awesome.
Really? So can you say that again? Just summarize it super quick.
Yeah.
So it's the setup?
On the A-frame itself, where the chains are connected to the A-frame of the trailer, they'll sometimes be in the front of that A-frame instead of on the sides. So if they're on the front right there, the 3P comes around and it can actually make contact with those, what she's saying. And the 3P has a ridge all the way around it, and it can kind of bend that ridge. But if it hits enough, it could actually go into the spindle and have issues with that, bending that.
So move them out?
Yeah, so either re-weld them on the outside piece or reattach them. Sometimes they're attached different ways, or you can knock them down with a hammer or something to where they're flusher with it and still going to be able to function perfectly correctly. So
good. Took 2 times for me, so I figured
no, it's perfect.
might be good. Anyone else, Lazar?
That was Rick, by the way.
That was Rick Decker.
And then this question was answered in the comments by none other than Sean Woodruff.
Very nice.
But Michael Mabry asked, your site references a price increase due to the cost of steel going up. Any idea on when this would happen? Sean did reply with, we don't have a date for it right now. He's fighting off increases at every turn and trying not to increase the price of the hitch. And, as I mentioned, that would be a great time to use this 10% discount code.
Yep. Like right now, man, you've got limited time.
Yeah,
and I'm involved in that aspect of the business. Literally, some parts have gone up 100%.
Oh, I'm sure.
They've doubled in cost, and we haven't raised too much over the last year, but we took some hits on that. We've had to buy in different quantities to get different price reductions. So yeah, it's a battle here. We're trying our best to keep it where it's at. But that's 200 pounds of steel.
Yep.
200 pounds of steel. Welded steel. Speaking of 200 pounds of twisted steel, so am I.
Right?
There we go. So, questions? Anything else? Any other comments?
Your boy Dave Roberts hit us with a let's go.
Let's go, Dave Robards.
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 Yes.
See, he says Roberts and it throws me off, Dave. He is in the program, so you have my permission to ride him hard. Dig the spurs into him. He's one of our sales trainers. But what did he say? Something else?
That was just funny what you said.
Oh, dig the spurs into him?
Sean said he got the twisted part right.
I don't know. Some referred to me as old boat rope too. Think about how tough old boat rope is. You try to untie it or cut it. I mean, you can't.
You can't.
It's
impossible.
Old boat rope. I think that's more akin to me. What would you say you are? Twisted steel or old boat rope, or just?
I don't know, man. I'm getting old boat rope pretty quick.
Are you?
Well, at least the look of old boat rope, maybe.
Speaking of bad jokes, I think it's now time for bad jokes by Dave or dad jokes. We got to make a decision on that. We need something that says dad jokes by Dave and a line through it says bad. Let's do that by next week. Let's have that, like a little pop-up. And so it's actually a pretty good question. Why do scuba divers fall backwards out of the boat? Because if they fell forwards, they would still be in the boat. Right. So anyway, I know we're winding up this episode 36 at this time. Thank you again for Brent with your tech talk. Weird noises, clunking, popping, and screeching and creaking. Yep, the hawk of knowledge. Once again, Lazar was stellar. He had some very good comments, and his presence is always appreciated. Our cameraman and Adam on the sound has done a wonderful job. We have ProPride credit. Remember, savings cash for 6 months, and you can go as little as $64 a month. You can pretty much set it up how you want to pay it off. It's like a credit line. Let's start using this because it's going to be a great way to keep your family safe, and you don't have to worry about coughing up over $3,000 out of your checking account. So we have the new financing in place. Don't forget, if you like to tinker, get on our affiliate network. And if you like to talk about the 3P affiliate network. If you like to install, get on our install network. And this is David Jameson here at ProPride Industries, the home of the 3P Hitch. And I will see you again next week, whether you like it or not. All right. Looked like a couple of comments came in right.
Haven't got my order.
Be interesting to see if we got any. Hello everyone, this is David Jameson here at ProPride, the home of the 3P. Give me 60 seconds, please. Let me ask you 2 questions. What excuse are you telling yourself, and what truths are you keeping from your family? It is a truth proven by physics that a ball hitch must sway. There's no way around it. And any type of attachment or hitch that says it is sway control is admitting that the trailer will sway. And the apparatus will attempt to control that inevitable sway. This family in this video thought that they were all set, just like 100% of all sway accidents. Nobody thinks it'll happen to them. They feel there's safe reasons like the tongue weight was distributed properly. They were traveling slow. They thought that it just wouldn't happen to them, so they couldn't plan for it. Simple physics prove that sway is not if, it is when. There are 2 links here, one for more info and one for getting real. This is David Jameson from ProPride Industries, the home of the 3P ProPride Hitch, and I will see you next week, whether you like it or not.